AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all the latest news from the world of movies, plus insight into what it all means. Today we are campy a list, but we've got three other fabulous people to help balance things out. First up, AMC Movie News editor, Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Pleasure to be here in Campia's hot seat. Thank you so much for joining us.
And also here, AMC Movie News production manager, Dennis Zen.
Yeah, it feels a little strange without Campia here, but Amy Rose is going to do a fantastic job.
Hell yeah.
Also here, writer-director, Jon Schnepp.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, the camp's out. Let the camp begin.
Yeah.
New photos, plot details, and a great teaser trailer have been released steadily for weeks for Bryan Singer's highly anticipated X-Men Days of Future Past. Now it looks like we may have been filled in on another large piece of the puzzle. In a promotional video from Fox for the upcoming film, Michael Fassbender's Magneto is said to be linked to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, and that he's a part of the conspiracy theory along with gunman Lee Harvey Oswald. Amy Rose, what do you make of this video and potential plot details?
I am a big fan of this. I am a big fan of kind of like what they did in Forrest Gump, explaining things in history in a fun, theatrical, imaginative way. I love the idea of, you know, Magneto, Michael Fassbender, the man, the myth, the legend, kind of, you know, from what I read up on it, I love this whole campaign. I love this video. I'm a big fan of like the General Zod Man of Steel video, where they come up with these promotional videos and they don't slap branding in your face. They do it in a creative way from the narration, from the standpoint of the character or the news story. So in this scenario, I thought it was really fascinating, kind of explaining this whole theory of, you know, we know that Lee Oswald obviously shot him, but what did he twist the bullet? Like all this interesting stuff. So I'm a really big fan of pretty much taking history. I'm a big history, but I'm okay taking liberties and having the untold conspiracy theory, as long as they're my X-Men in the hot seat. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of this. And I just think it's a really clever tactic of getting you to be really involved in these characters and want to know more. I mean, they literally have a launch pad now dedicated to this. So I'm a really big fan of this, and everything I keep hearing for X-Men, all the characters, the synopsis, how the plot's gonna unfold, this would definitely make a lot of sense with, you know, going back in the future and the past and all that, and I could not be more excited about this. What do you think, Dennis?
I think it's cool and creative. It is a little odd, though, tying something that's a little more controversial to
it is controversial.
To, you know, a fictional story. I wonder how big it's going to be. Is it going to be like the event, you know, that needs to be altered, you know, for Days of Future Past or something like that? But I went to the website and it's actually pretty cool. If you knew nothing about history and you looked at that website, you would actually think something like that could have happened. I mean, if you accepted that superheroes actually exist.
They do. What do you mean?
Because if you look at the website, it's actually really well done. They got a narrator, and the video is really cool, and they, you know, show all the like real historic pictures. That's where I kind of think like maybe it gets a little into the controversial part, because it's like almost real but not quite.
They also had concentration camps in the first one, you know, with World War II and everything.
Bending the gates.
Yeah. What do you think, Schnepp?
Hey, dumb America, it really happened. Magneto helped kill our president. Too soon, right? No, I don't know. Bent bullet, that whole thing, it's cool. I think it's cool when you take reality and you know, bend it into, especially with the X-Men.
I like what you did there.
Hey, check it out. And yeah, I mean, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, how disrespectful, but I'm into it. Yeah. You know, it's sort of like one of those things where it is like, you know, when is it ever too soon to like, you know, what is it like Magneto also brought the Twin Towers down? I mean, would that be like outrageous? But yeah, he killed the president. That's way a long time ago. So with them, I don't know if that'll be a main part of the actual movie. Because they're kind of like, what they're doing is like, they're saying, see, the mutants have been part of our history this whole time. And then this one event, which I'm sure isn't part of our reality, happened to change everything. So I'm just still waiting for them to announce the movie being split into 2 films. That's my hope. So we get 2 X-Men Days of Future Past.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think the Ben Bullet thing is great. I didn't even go to the website yet. I just watched that little,
Yeah.
quick time, which I thought was great.
And like the Sentinels being in the president inauguration photo, I thought that was really cool too. I like how they're kind of bridging this. So,
Yeah.
What's next, my dear?
We all look forward to Stan Lee's fantastic cameos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now it looks like he may have an even bigger hand in an upcoming production. With help of producer Avi Arad, the two are teaming up for a new Untitled movie. While we don't have a title yet, we do have a better idea as to what character it may revolve around. In a recent interview, Frank Grillo, who plays Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones, in the upcoming Captain America: The Winter Soldier, had this to say. In an origin film, you meet people who are going to be around for a while, so they introduce the characters. It's almost like it's a series. It's fun. I can't say very much about it because Marvel's very strict about what you're allowed to say. The movie, we've seen bits of it, and it is spectacular. Schnepp, would you like to see a Crossbones origin film?
No, I don't want to see a Crossbones origin film. I think the news might have gotten twisted around a little bit, and it's like he's probably talking about the Captain America film, and Avi Arad and Stan Lee are talking about some other completely different venture. So I think the two are not connected. Crossbones, I'd rather see a MODOK movie, to be honest with you. It's like, or a whole film about AIM. Let's just check those guys who are out in the yellow suits. What are they doing? They're like the minions. So I don't think they're going to be making a Crossbones film.
Dennis?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a peculiar character to do a story for, so I don't know if Stan Lee and Avi Arad are doing it. I mean, I read a little bit about Crossbones. I didn't really read Captain America. I was more of a Spider-Man, Hulk, X-Men person. And I guess he was supposed to be a henchman for Red Skull, but in this iteration, the comic book, or not the comic book, the movie verse, he's part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but not quite. There's something else to him. And I don't know if we haven't really seen Frank Grillo headline and carry a movie before, so I'm not too sure. Well, about the Stan Lee part, I think that part is cool. He created so many characters. And having him participate in more than just a cameo or even in that kind of faux producer credit that he gets in these movies, I think is kind of cool. Because I think he still has, I don't think he has the scripting abilities that he used to, but he still, I think, has pretty good ideas in his reckoning in his brain. He probably has 50 awesome ideas still there.
But is Avi Arad still even part of Marvel? I mean, I think the Stan Lee Avi Arad thing is a completely separate announcement. I don't know how they got melded.
People love to do that. I mean, because we hear this Untitled Marvel film that Stan Lee's taking apart, I'm sure, Frank made the announcement at the same time, you're going to find out more about these characters. Right. And some people are like, oh, that's got to be it. But I do think that they could be two unrelated stories. I mean, related because it's the same universe, but unrelated because, hopefully, I agree, Crossbones is cool, but honestly, if we're going to dip into the Captain America, I'd rather see a Falcon sail on.
Yeah. I think, oh wait, I just heard it's called the Wacky Speedster.
Yes.
That's the Avi Arad Stan Lee Wacky Speedster Excelsior.
Aren't you into that?
I'll check it out.
So yeah, I do feel like this is too. And Stan Lee's 91, and he's still so sharp and so badass, and his talent just amazes me. And I do look forward to those cameos. In every film, I'm like, where is he gonna pop up? I do, and I just think that he created so many amazing characters in this universe, and I would love him to contribute, but I don't think that it needs to be Crossbones. There's a lot of other characters I'd rather see. So, yeah, what's next, my dear?
Vin Diesel has been busy racing cars in Fast and Furious 7 and practicing walking on stilts for his role as Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. We heard news last year that we may see him star in the big screen adaptation of the 1970s crime drama Kojak, with Skyfall director Neil Purvis and Robert Wade penning the script. But no director was currently attached. Now we have an idea as to Diesel's top pick to fill the spot. When asked by a fan what director he wanted to work with in the future, Diesel stated, Kojak, New York, Ang Lee. Dennis, would you like to see a Diesel and Lee team up?
I think it's odd. That's a really odd pairing. You have two-time Oscar winner director Ang Lee, who did movies like Brokeback Mountain, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Hulk.
Hulk.
Well.
And then you have Vin Diesel, you know, Dominic from Fast and the Furious franchise, and Riddick, and
just look at them together.
like it's just an odd pair. I don't know. And Kojak is something that was like before my time, so I didn't grow up watching it. So I don't know if I, you know, would be interested in that or not. But I just think that those two together, I just don't see it.
That's exactly why I like it. You know me, I love my odd couples. I love when, you know, and Vin Diesel, I feel like The Rock and Vin were kind of neck and neck in terms of like what they brought to the big screen, and then The Rock actually started acting and stepping it up. And I love Vinny like the rest of them, but like he's not known for his incredible acting chops. He's not there yet. But Ang Lee is an incredible director. This would be so different than anything I've seen from either of them, and I think that this is a really good move for Vin Diesel to kind of step away from the Riddick and Fast and Furious and do this kind of detective, like cool drama, you know, spy drama. I think that sounds really cool. And I mean, the fact that he kind of singled him out and said, Ang Lee, New York, he always loves these cryptic messages.
Right.
He loves them.
Like,
I kind of love the idea of them together. I think it'd be different for both of them, and it's really odd, which is why I'm into it. I love odd and awkward.
yeah, I was gonna say, who loves you, baby? When I saw that, it's like I just imagined Vin Diesel doing this. Kojak, New York, Ang Lee, and then just walking off set, throwing whatever was in his hand on the floor.
What
Ang
was
Lee,
that in his
yeah,
hand?
a little, you know, Kojak's always sucking on those little lemon drops. Lemon drops. So, yeah, I mean, how weird. That's why at first I was like, he's out of his mind, you know? But Ang Lee's not, he's a great director.
He's great.
But he's just such an odd choice.
Such an odd choice.
Super
which is why
odd.
I love
Like
it.
Hulk dogs, Nick Nolte as an angry dad. I'll never forget Hulk for many reasons as to why I hated it. But, you know, there's just so much. But also, Ang Lee made some amazing films.
Yeah.
Just last year.
Life of
Life
of Pi.
That was a special
Incredible
movie.
film.
I actually
So-
liked it more than the book, which doesn't happen a lot for me. So that was great.
So I can't wait to see what he does with Vin Diesel and that amazing detective Kojak.
Yes.
You know?
But is this even really confirmed? Is this just what he tweeted?
It's his wish list.
Yeah, so it's not like this is actually happening. This is what he hopes to happen. I don't know if Ang Lee would be interested, to be honest.
It'd be very unpredictable, which I'd like. I just won an Academy Award. Do you remember
Yeah.
that In-N-Out picture?
Yeah, I love that picture.
He lives right here forever.
Well, Vin Diesel's a very powerful man. He's a necromancer. He's got weird, you know, magical powers. Ang Lee's like inside his, you know, he's got his grip on him. So he's gonna do it.
All right, guys, we've now reached the buy or sell portion of our show. For those of you who don't know how this works, Miss Ashley's going to read off a couple other things going on in the world of movie news, and we're simply going to say if we buy or sell it. What you got, lady?
Actor Chris Pratt will be seen starring as Peter Quill, aka StarLord, in James Gunn's upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy. Reportedly, however, Pratt signed on for the role before he even read the script. Pratt stated, "I was signed up to do the movie before I was even allowed to read a script, so it wasn't like something about this particular character that got me to do it. The fact that it was a Marvel movie is what got me to do it." Amy Rose, buy or sell Pratt signing on before reading the script?
Buy. Smart man. Marvel knows what they're doing. They have proven time and time again that they know what they're doing. These films are incredible. They line up great directors, great screenplays. The visuals are amazing. Kevin Feige is a genius. I have so much faith in Marvel and what they're doing. And Chris Pratt, I mean, he hasn't really had a starring role before. He's been known for his great comedy and you know, popping up here and there, and he's really likable, but hello, to star as StarLord in James Gunn, who's very quirky and fantastic, and it's going to be weird and fabulous. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Even if you don't see this tree, I feel like they've proven enough. You know, they're not the new kids on campus anymore. They know what they're doing with these beloved properties, and I would do the same thing. Yes, sign me up. He's in great shape, and I cannot wait to see him do this. He's just such a wonderful actor and human being, so I'm really happy for his success. What do you think, Dennis?
Yeah, I totally buy this. I mean, Chris Pratt is at the point of his career where he's on this hilarious show, Parks and Rec, but it's winding down. Unfortunately, I wish it would go longer. And he's been popping up in a lot of movies, and people are casting him. And something like this can take him to the next level. And it, like you said, with Marvel, they've been so consistent. over the last several years that it's a no-brainer. Like, you got to do it because I know some people hated like Iron Man 3 or they didn't like this. To me, even though none of the movies are perfect, they were all good. There wasn't a clunker in any. I even liked the Hulk, the Ed Norton Hulk one. So for him to say yes, it's the right career move.
Absolutely. Shep?
So Marvel sits you down and they're like, look, dude, we got Fin Fang Foom. We don't have a script. You're playing Fin Fang Foom. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
It's like, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's like, you know, what are you, silly? You know? It's like, and also for, you know, I'm sure he read the comic book, StarLord.
Yeah.
All right, as long as it's somewhere from the very first StarLord all the way to Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's one of those iterations, you know? I mean, it really literally is like, it's funny sometimes when I hear about the actors who didn't, we're like, nah, I don't want to play Wolverine. You know, like what? Did you? Nah, I don't read comics. Oh, okay, I get it now. So you
Those
understand.
small comic book films are going away
The
anyway.
pamphlets I'm not into. You're like, all right, you know.
Yeah. What's next?
We have all been curious to see if Martin Scorsese would keep his 3-hour film, The Wolf of Wall Street, that long, or if he would delay the release date in order to cut it down. It's being reported that the film will indeed release next month as planned and will clock in at 2 hours and 59 minutes, beating out Casino by 1 minute, making it the longest Scorsese film to date. Schnepp, buy or sell The Wolf of Wall Street being 3 hours long?
That's so awesome. When I heard that they were like, we're forcing him to cut it down, and he was like, no, it's perfect the way it is. It's not like David Lynch when he has Inland Empire. They're like, yo, dude, can you just like shave off 40 minutes of that like end sequence? The 2.5-hour end sequence? Because the first 30 minutes like kind of work with a regular audience. Like when you put it out on DVD, you can release the 4-hour cut. Just cut out like 40 minutes. I get that. With Martin Scorsese, when he's like, look, I've got the picture locked at 2 hours. If he said 3.5 hours, I think the studio should have been like, yeah, that's good, it's good. Got Leonardo DiCaprio, got Jonah Hill, got, oh, no problem. Instead, they were like, yo, we're gonna sweat you a little bit. And I think he just was like, like held his ground. Was like, you want that Christmas, son? Come
you want
at
that
me.
Oscar contender, son?
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was like, all right, 3 hours, go. And I'm super excited because we get more Scorsese action, we get more flavor. All the trailers look incredible. I'm so amped to see this movie that to me, I'm excited. When I heard that, I was like, yes, 259, awesome.
I am such a buy on this. Like, I'm so glad. I completely agree. It's Martin Scorsese. I can't even say his name. I'm so excited. Scorsese. I love him so much. Goodfellas still remains one of my favorite films of all time. And with an artist like that, it's not like he's filling space with scenes. Everything means something. I'll never forget that Copacabana scene. I mean, he's just such a special director. And a lot of people, you know, may argue that his best years are behind him. The Departed was a really solid film. I don't care if it was based on another film. His take, his vision of it was fantastic. Yeah. He obviously works really well with Leonardo. He's kind of his muse. I love it. It's a good muse to have. I'll borrow your muse. I'm into it. But I just, if Scorsese says, this 3-hour movie is good, I don't want to cut it down, you listen to the man. So I'm excited. And most of his films to me don't drag anyway. I thought Casino was fantastic as well because it's just so rich, and this looks like it's going to be a really fun time. And Matthew McConaughey, again, he's having such a year with Mud, finally saw Dallas Buyers Club. Like, I'm just really excited the new direction he's taking, and Jonah Hill's acting again, you know, so I'm really excited about this, and I'm glad that they decided to keep it as a contender, keep it in the holidays, don't tease me and push it back, and give it the way that Scorsese intended it to be. What do you think?
Normally, I would sell something like this, but because it's Martin Scorsese, who is my favorite director, I have to buy it. And like you were saying, Scorsese is not known for a slow pace or a slow burn of movies. Like Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies. When you watch it, it's a 2.5-hour movie. It doesn't stop. From the beginning all the way to the end, it just goes. And judging from the trailers of Wolf of Wall Street, I can tell that's how this movie is going to be. It's just going to go. So I think even though it's 3 hours, I think there's going to be plenty of stuff there, and we're not going to be bored. And it's Scorsese. It's not like some new director who's trying to figure out how to make a movie work, and he can't cut out scenes because he loves those scenes too much.
It's like a stroke of his ego or anything.
Yeah, it's Scorsese, so have to buy it.
Yes. Following the news of his tell-all memoir, Will Ferrell is rumored to appear as famed anchorman Ron Burgundy to host a 6 p.m. SportsCenter on ESPN on December 5th. While it hasn't been officially confirmed yet, it's said that Ferrell won't break character while hosting. Dennis, if this is true, would you like to see Ron Burgundy host SportsCenter?
Yes, I would. I buy it. I think it's hilarious because he's shown up on Conan before as Ron Burgundy and didn't break character. And also these new car commercials he's doing. I don't know if you guys have seen them. I watch a lot of sports.
They're so good.
Yeah, they're hilarious. They're hilarious. And him doing a SportsCenter episode, I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, I don't want to see like an hour of it, but like, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes. I'm definitely. I hope he's in there with the other anchors so that he can just do some messed up stuff with them.
Schnepp.
Yeah, especially like after seeing Eastbound and Down, like just seeing that kind of activity with like Kenny Powers being a part of that, part of that show. I don't want to be spoilers, but you should be watching Eastbound and Down. Has nothing to do with movies. Anyway, yeah, I can't wait to see. I would hope that all of the Anchorman team would be on the SportsCenter thing. That would be an incredible.
That'd be cool.
Then I'd watch 4 hours of that. I mean, so that's a buy for me.
And you can do something with like the teleprompter too. I am Ron Burgundy.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I buy. I love, this is definitely one of my favorite Will Ferrell characters. There are so many good ones, but Ron Burgundy and just like Baxter and everything, his relationship with the news team, and like, I just love it. I can't wait for this film. I don't think this sequel is going to disappoint at all. And again, I was talking about this with like the X-Men promotional video. I love when they do branding that's not slapped in your face. This character is going to join SportsCenter. His commentary on what's happening with teams, oh my goodness, that is going to be hilarious. And I love him not breaking character and just being silly with his banter and everything. And that would be great if they got the whole news team.
What would even be better is get Adam McKay on as the field director so that they could throw back and forth, because that's part of that whole magic and improv. That would be great to just see that live,
Yeah, but the more Ron Burgundy we see, the better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we have now reached the mailbag portion of our show. Miss Ashley has a couple user-submitted questions picked out. And what you got for us?
Sean McNally writes, "Hello, Sons of AMC. You guys are the best, and I love your show so much. I wanted your opinion on this question about Sir Ian McKellen. Do you think he is better as Magneto or Gandalf? Thank you so much."
And daughters. First of all, you shall not pass. Come on. I think this is a really good question because he is such an amazing character actor. I don't think, I can't pick. He was such an amazing Magneto. He's such an amazing Gandalf. He's amazing in everything he is. He's a true thespian. So I'm a really big fan. I cannot wait to see the dissolution of Smag for mostly Gandalf. Many other reasons, but I love him. I think he's such a brilliant actor. I'm so excited he's back in X-Men, but because I'm a diehard X-Men fan, that's like my favorite comic series of all time. If I had to, gun to my head pick, I'd probably go that direction. But I just think as Gandalf the Grey, he is just so fantastic. He brings everything to that role and more from what I read in the books and everything. So I love him so much. If you had to pick, who would you pick?
I'm going, even though he's great in both characters, I'm going to pick Gandalf.
Yeah.
I think because it's closer to his true nature as a person. And remember the end post-credit scene for Wolverine when he comes out with Professor X?
The best ever. The best end credit scene ever.
With Hugh Jackman. and then he comes out as Magneto, but he's kind of like this nicer Magneto because of the situation. He's teaming up with them. And for a moment, I thought he was gonna like call Hugh Jackman like Bilbo or Frodo for a second, because I was like, oh, that's Gandalf. So for me, I identify with him as Gandalf more.
Because he was witty and sarcastic and fabulous as Magneto, but not in that little end credit scene, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, gun to my head, I'm going with Gandalf. I love him as Magneto, but like I just have to go by quantity. Like there's more Gandalf than there is Magneto, so that's the only reason that Gandalf wins, because he's in 6 Lord of the Rings, like Hobbitland universe movies, and then they're extended editions too, so each movie's like 7 hours. So you got like 4 days of Gandalf versus like 1 day of Magneto. Even though he's incredible as Magneto, I mean, I love him as Magneto, so that's why I can't wait to see Days of Future Past. Like Michael Fassbender, incredible actor, amazing Magneto. You know, meeting his other older half as another amazing Magneto. When does that happen? Two actors playing the same character in the same movie. Yeah. So, but Gandalf wins for me. So.
Yeah, and Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy. I mean, I can't wait to see how they do that. I know it's only going to be quick scenes together, but the idea of having them both on the screen.
Patrick Stewart, is it Xavier or Jean-Luc Picard? Oh, put a gun to your head. Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, what's next?
Louis Lork writes, "Hey everyone, I watched the Hunger Games opening night and loved it, and it got me thinking, Stanley Tucci, who played Caesar, is damn good in everything I have seen him in, and just looked him up and has been in a ton of movies, but always played side characters when I have seen him. But his characters have been memorable, so that leads me to my question. Who are some of your favorite actors that never play lead or second in movies, just side characters?"
Thank you for the question, Louis. Stanley Tucci is one of the best. He really is. I mean, he was great as Caesar. His little grin and when he's interviewing the tributes, and I absolutely adore him. And The Lovely Bones. I don't know if you've seen that film, and while, you know, it might have not been as good as the book by a lot of standards and a little all over the place, he played the villain, and he was fantastic. You don't see an ounce of Stanley Tucci in there. He's completely just, he's just transformed. I love him. I think he is one of the best actors out there. The first name that comes to mind when I heard this question is definitely Sam Rockwell. I think he is one of the best actors out there as well. He's in my top 3 favorite actors of all time. I think he just has such passion and dedication and just this energy that he brings on set. He can be the sleazy guy, he can be, you know, charming sidekick, he can be whatever, and there hasn't really been a starring role for him other than Moon, and he was amazing in Moon, but that was his movie. He was the only guy in that movie. So while he starred in that film, I would like to see him also star in an ensemble as the lead. Because I just think in everything, even the way back. I think, did you guys see that film?
No.
It's really good. And he, again, was a supporting character, but it was just such a good role. He can do anything. I mean, I think of Matchstick Men. I think of all these other films where he's not necessarily the lead, and he's definitely second, but that's the first actor that I really like.
Didn't he play Confessions of a Dangerous Mind?
Yeah.
He was the lead in that. But it's like, that's kind of an ensemble piece.
It is. But I just feel like I don't know why his career hasn't continued to evolve in that way, because he's amazing. I mean, if he stars in the Poltergeist remake, that would be interesting, even though I'm a little on the remake scene. But he's the first one that comes to mind that I wish he would get more starring roles. Has he had a couple? Yes, but I think people should take more of a chance on him because he's so freaking talented. Who comes to mind when you hear that?
I mean, Sam Rockwell is definitely a person I'd love to see more. He's one of my favorite actors as well. And I always mention this guy, Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be the lead in the upcoming Mandela, but he hasn't, you know, he's been a lot of, like Pacific Rim, he wasn't the lead for that. He was one of the main characters, but I'd love to see him as a lead in an action movie. I'm all for a Black James Bond.
Me too, I was just gonna say
Elba. Like, come on, just do it. As far as Stanley Tucci, I agree with you. He was fantastic in The Lovely Bones. I didn't care much for the movie.
Yeah, but he was so good.
But the scenes that he was in.
So creepy.
I don't know why they haven't, especially in an indie movie sense, why he hasn't done a lead role. I mean, I can understand why big budget movies, they don't want this guy as, you know, the main lead character. But for some indie movies, you know, even, let's say like Peter Dinklage, remember
so good.
That movie, was it The Last Station Agent?
It's just called The Station Agent.
Station Agent.
Station Agent. You know, he was the lead in that one, you know, so I don't know. Maybe Tucci should look at some indie films.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I mean, there's so many amazing character actors, and I think character actors are one of the most important parts of any television series and or movie. They're like you have your big actors, but then you have all these people who fill in all these very important supporting roles. So, I mean, in my mind, I sort of was like just combing through all of them, and the one that just kept coming back was Crispin Glover.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a weirdo, but every single role he's done has always been very fun to watch, and he's a great supporting role, like character actor. I mean, I probably would say he's too much character for like what we're talking about right now, but that's who just popped into my head. So
another one just popped into my head, Ben Foster.
Oh yeah.
Ben Foster is phenomenal. And again, why has people not seen his talent in everything he's in, even his small role in Rampart? I mean, he's an amazing actor, and it's just, come on, Hollywood, get with it.
You know what's interesting too about character actors like Alan Arkin?
Yeah.
An incredible character actor nowadays that fills in those supporting roles, but like used to be a bigger star.
Yeah.
So that's also we see as bigger actors, you know, they're not supporting the main film, they become character actors. I think.
Yeah, well, an example of this, I know this is television, but you have someone like Steve Buscemi, who's a character actor in a lot of different movies, and now he's the lead character in a television show
And
that
he's
is
so
absolutely
good as Nucky.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. So, you know, maybe, you know, different routes, indie movies or television shows that if they can't get a big break. You know,
Buscemi made his career being like, yes, Chet. I'm Chet. You know, he made his career being a character actor. You know, and then now look at he's the lead.
Armageddon, come on.
Yeah.
And I mean, TV has changed so much now. I mean, some of the best writing is on television nowadays. So I definitely think that can serve as a platform. Well, we are done for the day, but before we leave you, Dennis, can we talk about how amazing Pearl Jam was for a second?
Yes, it was pretty awesome.
Epic. They played a 3-hour set. 3 hours.
Yeah, pretty much nonstop. Their 2 encore breaks were like 2 or 3 minutes they stopped.
They're so good. I'm in the middle of my 4-day concert tour. Beck, Childish Gambino, saw Drake last night. Snoop came out with him. Nicki Minaj. Are you kidding me? And tonight, Justin Timberlake. So I'm really, really loving life right now.
There's my Pearl Jam for you.
I mean, that was really good. If he ever loses his voice from all the drinking and smoking, we know who to call.
How's that?
So good. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I would like to thank my wonderful panelists today, the one and only Dennis Sang. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter @ThinkHero and on YouTube ThinkHeroPro.
Jon Schnepp,
hey,
director, good friend. Whoa. Where can people follow you?
At Twitter and Instagram at Jon Schnepp. Support my Kickstarter, Unicron the Unicorn Barbarian. It's a weird cartoon. Come on.
And the lovely Ashley Mova. Thanks for hosting. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter @AshleyMova.
Great, and I'm Amy Rose with AMC Movie News. Thank you so much for joining us. Follow, like, share, you know the deal. Thanks again, and we'll see you back in the studio tomorrow. Bye-bye.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.